This question is given in GATE previous year. So I'll just read it out for you. Consider the following schedule for the transactions T1, T2, T3. So 3 transactions are given like this, and the actions are given here, and it is a schedule. Okay. Now which one of the schedules below is the correct serialization of the above? So which means they are asking about if you try to serialize it, which one is it going to be equivalent to, right? So how to find out that equivalent is, let's use the graph. Now in order to write the precedence graph, for every transaction we are going to have a node. So let us say T1, T2 and T3. 3 nodes I am going to have, and let me find out what are all the conflicting actions. So I'll take this and I'll see if it is conflicting with any of the other operations of the other transactions. Now if you see this, not a conflict, not a conflict, not a conflict, but there is a conflict, right? There is a conflict between these two. And what is this conflict saying? First T1 has to occur, then only T2, right? The order. That is why first T1 has to occur and then T2. So I'm going to write it this way, right? Okay. And now next one is, let's say, see, there are various ways you can go. One way is you can go from top to down, and whenever you are checking it, you check only with the actions which are below it. That way it will be easy for you, right? Now since you are done with this, what is the next one in the order? This one, right? You can go that way also. Now check with all the other operations which are below it. So when you are checking this read of y, you need not check with this, isn't it? Right? Okay. If one more thing we missed out is, while checking you have to check with T3 also, right? So here, right? Now what is this conflict saying? This conflict is saying that T1 has to occur first and then T3. Got it? Okay. Now once you are done checking with all the other operations which are below it from the other transactions, then you go to the next one in the order. So first one in the order is this, next one in the order is this. Now you take this and check with all the operations in the other transactions which are below it. Why? Because we have already checked all the operations which are above it. So when you are going in that order, you need not go above, right? So now this one I need to check with this, not a conflict, and I need to check with this, not a conflict, check with this, not a conflict, right? So no conflicts for this one. And what is the next one in the order? The next one in the order is this one, right? Now check with all below, right? So in the other transaction, yes, there is a conflict here, right? Now what is this conflict saying? T3 then only T2, right? So T3 then only T2. And again check this with this, not a conflict, right? Check this with this, not a conflict, not a conflict. Got it? Now these 3 are over. It is better you mark them. This is over, you checked it. This is over, you checked it. This is over, you checked it, right? Now what is next one in order? This one, right? Check with all the operations below it from the other transactions. Now in the other transaction, this is below it, not a conflict. This is below it, not a conflict. So it is checked, done. Now what is next one in order? Here, right? Now if you see this one is on the right side, right? On the other side you have to check it on the other transactions. Now conflicting with this and conflicting with this. Both these actions are saying that T1 should occur, then T2. That is why T1 to T2, it is already there. No need to write it. And what about this one? This is saying that T1 has to occur, then T3. So T1 and then T3. Okay? It is already there, so I am not writing it. So it is done. Now what is next one in the order? This one, right? Now if you observe this one, you have to check with all of those which are below it, right? Now the one below it is this one, right? So here and also here. So what is this one saying? T3 then only T2. So T3 then only T2. It is already there and it is also done. Now the next one I need to check is this one, right? So there are nothing below it on both these sides. Therefore no need to check. This one is also done and this one is also done. Alright. So now if you look at the graph is clearly saying that there are no cycles, and so it is conflict serializable. Now let's see which one of the following is the correct one which is matching this. Now if you observe it, T1, T3, T2, is that possible? T1, can I start with T1 first? Yes, it is not depending on anything. And after T1, can I start with T3? Yes, because it is depending only on T1. Therefore, after T1, I can start with T3. And after T1 and T3, I can start with T2. Therefore, A is an option. Now, if you want to check, you can check the other options as well. So, T2, can I start with T2 first? I can't start with T2 first. Why? Because T2 is depending on T1. Now can I start with T2? No. Can I start with T3? No, because T3 is depending on T1. So I cannot start with T2 or T3. That is why B, C, D are wrong and A is right. Okay.